Chuck and Bob with you on this Thursday as we get you ready for the high school basketball weekend. Final week of the regular season for the girls. Of course, the boys have another month yet until we get to March Madness. But let's start on the girls' side in this final week of the regular season. A couple of hot teams meeting tonight down at the Rock. Northridge has won 4 in a row. Plymouth has won 6 in a row. Something's got to give.
Well, 2 well-coached teams, and you got to give the coaches credit for bringing these teams along. And again, Plymouth won 6 in a row, and they're well over the 500 mark now. So this is a team that has some good people back from last year. And you look at a young lady like Lindsay Janis and Claire Sheedy's playing well for them. And this is a team that has good program kids in it as well. And Dave Duncan's done a nice job. Dave Duncan's done a nice job down there.
You take a look, though, at what Doug Springer's been able to do at Northridge, and the fact that he took this young team, made them play a really rugged schedule at the start, but it's paying off now that as they get towards the end. They're 15-7, and they've got a nice scoring tandem with J.C. Walker and Eva Fisher. Good balance otherwise. They'll be a force to be contended with in the Goshen sectional. We'll see Northridge next week in the Goshen sectional on TV-46. But as I look at this game tonight, I see Northridge as a team that probably would like the pace to be somewhere where they score in the 50s. Plymouth would like it much slower.
Yeah, one of the things that I think makes Northridge a very good program is that they're used to winning. Doug Springer's done a nice job. He's taken them to the semi-state in recent years. This is a team that has a good program. They got good program kids, but Doug Springer's done a great job.
So that's on the girls' side. On the boys' side, it's East Side and Westview. A couple of teams with 10-3 records. Westview leads the Northeast Corner Conference. They'll be playing at home against the Blazers, who are tied for second in the league, so it's a big game.
It is a big game, and you know, there's not a Yoder at the head coaching position, but there's a couple on the roster, and this team has 3 players averaging in double figures, including Drew Litweiler. And, you know, they play such a terrific pace, and they do a good job on defense as well. So I really like the way Westview's coming along. 10-3 under new head coach Ed Bentley.
Yes, and they're averaging 62 points a game, which could be the biggest problem for this East Side squad that comes in, because Ryan Abbott's squad, even though they're 10-3 after that narrow win over Fremont on Tuesday, they really win it with defense. All but one of their wins have come by holding their opponent under 50 points. And you watch the way Westview shoots it, I'm not sure they're going to be able to do that, especially with the Whistler on hand in Topeka.
That's right, and you know, these are both 2A teams, but one of the things that stuck out to me was you look at the East Side record. Fort Wayne, Concordia, Lakeland, Garrett, East Noble, they're all 3A teams, and they're all in the win column for East Side.
2 interesting matchups in the NIC this week. It's pretty much city versus rural matchups here. Yeah, let's start with St. Joe and New Prairie. Mark Johnson's St. Joe team ranked number 6 in this week's Class 3A poll. And oh yeah, J.R. Konechny, he's still good.
He is still good, and as long as Will Terry's rebounding and getting some buckets in there as well. And oh, gee, they've got the Odell brothers, and they've got Jack Fuda, and they've got a much improved Cole Hetkovich. Connor Lipka's doing a good job for him. Mark Johnson bringing this team along, and boy, I just love the way they're playing together.
They're 9-2 right now. They're still in the hunt for the NIC race, depending on what happens with Adams the rest of the way. So they're looking at that. But now they have to go to Rolling Prairie on a Friday night. We saw Mike Bauer, the former St. Joe coach, get his 100th win last Friday in the Bi-County tournament in this game against Bremen, and that's Braden Flagg lighting it up, which they'll need him to do a lot of that Friday night.
Well, and you're looking also at Grady Kipczynski that was talking to Mike Bauer, and I tell you what, that young man impressed us in the game against Bremen with his outside shooting. Hunter Smith is a big, strong athlete inside, and Riley McBride would be the outstanding player on most teams in the area. But again, when you've got Flagg shooting threes and taking the ball to the hoop, it's a little bit of a different situation. But Mike Bauer's team had a good game against Bremen, then came up a little short in the championship game in the Bi-County as they lost to a very good John Glenn team.
Well, we saw their defensive effort ramp up a little bit in the Bi-County tournament, but they're going to have to take it a whole new level if they're going to slow down a St. Joe team that's one of the higher scoring teams in the state.
Yeah, you know, and one of the things you can't do with St. Joe is you can't go in and say, okay, we're going to double team J.R. Konechny, or we're going to box and 1, or we're going to triangle and 2 on him. You know, the guy's going to get his points, but he's got a lot of people on the team with him. Now, JR is, he just moved into second place all time at St. Joe, which is quite an accomplishment. And we're sitting there running through the numbers, and boy, he could accomplish a lot of other things before the season's over.
Outside shot, if all goes well for the Indians, they got to make a little bit of a turning run, but outside shot of becoming the St. Joe County all-time scoring leader, passing to Measy Anderson. We'll keep an eye on that as things go along. Meanwhile, you know who's also good? South Bend Adams. They are 14-0. They're ranked number 5 in Class 4A. Oh, do they play really good defense. They've held every opponent so far under 60, and then offensively, you never know who the leading scorer is going to be.
Well, that's what makes them so tough, because Chad Johnson will push the right buttons at the right time. You might see Lynn King in the corner. You might see Braden Saxon and Quintez Columbus going to the hoop. Sidney Jeffries can have great moments. Chuck Worsham's a great athlete. You know, when you look at this team, it's the same pretty much as last year. And they play so well together, very unselfish. And, you know, Chad Johnson, state championship team at Clay High School, national championship team at Bethel College. He knows how to coach. He knows how to get kids to win.
Now, they can't look ahead to a game with number 10 Warren Central Saturday night, because Friday night, they have to go down to the reconstructed Prairie and take on a good John Glenn team. Travis Hanna's squad is 12-2. They're the 3-time bi-county champions, but Bob, you saw them Tuesday night in a loss to Marion, and the Knights may have exposed some flaws for John Glenn.
Well, there's Bryson Hanna, number 14. He's a very impressive athlete, big, strong kid, just a sophomore, and the son of the coach and understands what they want to do. You see him take one away there and put it in, but yeah, he had trouble against Marion's quickness and size. They really double-teamed on him down low, and they were looking for other people to step up. They got some good minutes from Jake Frankovic. Silas Kaiser did some good things. Carter Young's a good player, but nobody can carry the team on their back like Bryson Hanna, so they got to really have a great game out of him, and I wouldn't be surprised at all that the Adams Eagles are going to try to find a way to stop them.
Meanwhile, we'll be in the Northern Lakes Conference on Friday night. Now, Mishawaka, the newcomer to the league, leads that league. There's a log jam at second place. We'll see that log jam get broken up as Northwood visits Warsaw in the Tiger Den. Let's start with Aaron Wolf's Northwood Panthers, who come in with a record of 9-3. A young team, but they showed us in this loss to Northridge that they've got some explosive offensive players.
Can't wait to see what happens with this team in the next couple of years as Cade Brenner and Ian Rash mature, get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. They're both sophomores and doing a great job. They've got good athletes. Jamar Jackson is terrific, and Cooper Weens is a good player. How about Ben Vincent as a leader who's really evolved? You talk about a program kid. It's his 13th year there at high school.
They shoot the ball really well. Their opponent on Friday night, the Warsaw Tigers, playing in the Tiger Den, their shooting is a little bit suspect at times. Now, the night we saw them against Wawasee, they couldn't miss from three-point range. I believe they hit 13 three-pointers in this game. However, their last 2 games from beyond the arc, they've been under 20%, so they've got to try to figure it out in Matt Moore's first year here.
Yeah, classic example of a team that develops a certain way to play, a certain deal with success. And then the other teams scout them and watch their video, and they say, okay, we got to get out, and we got to guard Paxton Gould. We got to get out, and we got to try to deny Jackson Dawson a three-pointer. And they got to try to make the other team beat him with Bishop Walters and Judas and Fuquay. But Warsaw has the parts. They're still coming together under their new head coach, Matt Moore. And I wouldn't be surprised as the season goes along if they don't continue to improve.
So we will see this one unfold for you tomorrow night, right around 7:45 on Facebook, YouTube, and the Champions Network. It's Northwood and Warsaw, and of course you can see it Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. And until then, for my partner Bob Nagle, Chuck Freeby, thanks for joining us on social media.